Great day already so far. We have taken a full on 510. We're going to dive straight in. As we've got a trade setup, we have a couple of signals. I missed this one earlier on. As you can see just down here, the little cow factor, or the bull, I should say. But we're just looking at taking this trade. So an entry would have been around about here. So we're a bit worse off getting an entry at this stage, which I've just identified. But we are better off than this signal. So we might let it retrace for a little bit, and then we can jump in on this signal. But I'm quite liking the look of it. I think I'll just go in on this, actually. And then we're looking at, what is this, 0.41%. It's a very small stop loss, that. We can live with it. So that'll be $2,000 in total. So let's hit that up. Oh, it's dropping down a little bit. Thank God I didn't place that. Let's hit the latest. Let's go for it. See if this gets filled. I've dropped it a little bit below. Ooh. Come on, drop a little bit more so I can fill. So I'm currently at, let's see the open order just here. Let's flip it over. Oh, we haven't got that screen linked up, naturally. Let's cut out screen cap. Let's get this linked back up. There's always something, eh? There we go. Done. There we go, you can now see it. So it has not filled just yet. We're still kind of waiting for it to go down. Oh no, it did fill. Wonderful. It just popped down, picked up that order, and then shot back up. So that's great. You can see the trade just there. We're currently in a little tiny bit of profit. Try and get a bit of a better scroll ever so gently. There we go. So you can see the full trade now. We're currently 20 cents up, winning. And we'll see if this heads up. So we're in a long at the moment. We're just taking it. Like I said, we did miss this signal down here. Little arrow on that one. And we're currently using this trade. We've got a couple of bullish signals. And as you can see by these, indicated by these lines on the chart, that would have been the second signal entry for this bullish cow just here. And then the moo cow would have been a better entry if we'd have gotten this one a little bit earlier. Probably would have exited it by now, to be honest. We had one trade already today, which has gone pretty well. This is the first trade I jumped in. We didn't really have much going on. So I get into my trading session usually around about 8:45, 9 o'clock when I get into the office. But as you can see, this trade here was triggered at around about 6:50. And yeah, I mean, if your stop loss was down to about 0.5, that would have taken profit already. So, you know, there was no cause for me to try and get into this trade because that was a dead trade. I didn't get anything up until then. This was my first opportunity. We jumped into that one. I didn't take this second trade. No real reason. I wasn't kind of focusing on it too much, but I jumped out of this trade a little bit early. And because I made 5%, so I was pretty happy with that. And yeah, like I said, my general goal at the moment is I'm super happy with 10%. Anything above 10% is an awesome day. Anything above 5% is a great day. Anything above 1% is a great day. You've kind of got to be put everything into perspective a little bit. So yeah, like I said, you know, you really do have to put everything into perspective. If you're making like 1%, 2% a day, then you'll be absolutely loaded pretty quickly, to be honest, because that is huge gains. All right, let's just monitor this one then. and we'll see how that little scalp goes. And as usual, we'll just pop on our, this is where we entered. This is not actually where we entered. I'll show you where we entered. We entered just back a little bit. Give me my signpost. Give me my signpost. Oh, do you know what would be good? Doing a stop loss and a take profit. When excitement takes over, you forget some of the more vital things in trading, like not getting wrecked. That always helps. So let's put in the stop loss and the take profit. Do it as usual. We'll just do our usual one-to-one. Take a quick look at the, get you in there. Let's Why are you toying with my emotions? 28,169. 28,169. 27,921. There we go, confirm. Oh, MEXC. I do love your fees. I do not love some of your other features, that's for sure. Okay, right, so currently we have you can see the two little take profits and stop losses there that have appeared just down here. You can't see my little mouse, but you see where it is at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. We now have the take profit and stop loss punched in, which is the important bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the take profit and going to flip that to a limit order so we can take advantage of those amazing low MEXC fees. So low, in fact, they don't even register. They're 0%, which is pretty golden, not gonna lie. Anyway, so let's cancel that order, and we will chuck in the limit order. In you go. How much do we want to close? All of it, and hit close. Give it. There we go. So now our trade is fully set up. It's got a nice little bounce, actually. It's gone kind of straight into profit. So let's have a quick recap of how the current current trading is going using the block party indicator. As you can see at the very top of the screen, you can get access to block party trading premium, or really any of the products, signals, indicators, automation. I'll talk through each of the packages actually shortly, but this is exclusively using the indicator. Just for reference, you can see on all of my charts, we have up here in the top left-hand corner the block party indicator. We've gone through a full range of different names and fun names for indicators that we released. However, this one was so good that we went with the most basic name in indicator, because that's kind of what it is. That's what it does for us. It's our go-to indicator, and we just think it absolutely rocks. I can show you how much it rocks, actually. So I've been using it exclusively on MEXC and tracking it pretty much via live stream in a more kind of formal tracking sense and a little less erratic trading, which I've done in the past, or tried to track in the past. When you use one account, generally you'll do all sorts of stuff on it. You'll do swings, hodls, you'll do some random scalping off strategy. This one's been pretty strict. It started with $100, and yeah, I've been just really strict in using this strategy, the 3-minute chart. Bitcoin at the moment, I think we'll expand to Ethereum, although Bitcoin's going so well. The only real reason I would have to expanding to different assets usually is because it'll give me a bit more volatility, a bit more size on the stop losses and the take profits. And the reason for that really comes down to fees. I talk about fees a lot, but when you're truly scalping and stuff on such small time frames, it really does make a massive difference. So that's why I would use more volatile assets. Good assets to trade when the fees aren't so great are Doge and XRP. And you can actually trade those simultaneously, because XRP is one of the few top 10 assets that really doesn't follow Bitcoin to the T. Everything else does. Doge is quite fun to trade because that one does have some quite ridiculous buying pressure at times. So if you can catch those waves, and it can really push up quite fast. And of course, both of them have fantastic liquidity. The BTC trade's pushing quite nicely. So at 1.5% on entire count on that. It's not 1.5% on my entire account anymore, sadly, because I'm up 60%. But yeah, I mean, it really is going. Holla. If this hits 5% or $5, I am so tempted to close because we've already managed a 5% trade today. In fact, actually, what was it? It was a bit high. Yes, it's almost bang on 5%. $5.03 trade today. So that pushes me up to 61% in the past. However long ago is 20 days. I don't count this first day because I was just messing about. So 20 days up until the 1st, is it 1st or 2nd of May? Damn, 2nd of May. I've got all the Star Wars fans about to go crazy on social media in a couple of days, which is always a bit of pointless, harmless fun. Yeah, so this is the recap of how we're doing with the block party indicators so far. We are 61% up in, we didn't establish how many days that was. How many days is it? It's 31 days in April, right? 30 days in April. Okay, it's 10. So let's say 11. This is the 12th day of using this indicator. We're 61% up on account, which ain't too bad going. That puts us at, on average, a very easy one to work out, 5% per day. Yeah, I mean, don't expect all your trading to be that, to be honest. 5% per day is absolutely insane. So, not say it's impossible. I'm just saying that we have had a particularly good run, and I'm touch all the words. We want it to keep up. So we did get a bit of a nasty rejection there. We'll see how that kind of plays out. So we'll keep an eye on this. I'm quite liking this chart setup for the live streams at the moment because I like to keep the scalping live on the left, and we can monitor that because that does. When that starts to kick off, when that starts to flow, then you don't want to miss really any of the trades. But equally, it's nice for us to be able to do some longer format analysis on the 6 hour, which is just over here. So I did actually put out a short BTC trade earlier on. I know I've just gone long on that scalp, but scalps and long format trades are very different beasts. This, for instance, this is a kind of a 7% swing, and realistically, it's a very much a carbon copy of the logic that we use for the scalping onto the 6 hour, just much bigger time frames. Well, it is dropping a bit. Let's not freak out. Let's not start pulling any ripcords just yet. But yeah, there's no real difference. All we're leaning on is these amazingly strong signals. We saw a great hedge trade yesterday where we had a long and a short setup at the same time just prior to the PMI release. We hit full take profit on the short, and then we just immediately closed the long, because we were only halfway down, stop loss on that. And that's amazing. That's such a great, we could have let it retrace a little. We could have hoped for it to bounce. Hope is pretty much the most perfect word for that, because we didn't really know what was going to happen leading into the PMI. So when I was in a position of guaranteed 5% profit on entire account, yeah, of course I'm going to take it and close it. So yeah, that's the beauty of hedge trades, is it more often than not you're using them in case you start to notice the market is turning. And like this, for instance, we've just got a short trade here, so we're going to jump in on this trade here because the market might be turning. So let's get this trade set up a bit more space on this, and I kind of really want to get my stop loss around about there. Pull this down. Yeah, so that's quite a nice little trade actually. We'll still be looking to close below this next significant support. And what I want to do now is I don't want to jump in straight away. I kind of want to see if it's going to retrace. If we can get an entry for this short above the entry for the long, then that would be an absolute diamond. So open, just notify that. Yeah, we're already kind of getting in a better position now, but we're going to get the trade set up. So that's a 0.5% or thereabouts. Put it in the old risk calculator. That's 2,000. Oh yeah, that's a nice little better entry there. I like that. Let's take this one. Short. Why are you asking me this? I don't want confirmation. I want you to get right in there. Now, what has dramatically changed between now and yesterday? And why aren't you opening? There we go. It does really confuse me sometimes, but I'll definitely take that. So as you can see just here, you've got your long, and we've got our short as well. So that's really nice. We actually managed to open the short whilst the long was in profit. So this is really quite a good position to be in. But what price exactly? Let's get before I get carried away again and start forgetting to take profits and stop losses, we'll just enter in the data now. There we go, make sure that's all nice and aligned, and then we can adjust our take profit accordingly. So this is why it is quite important for me to put the exact price in that we're going in and out. We actually can push this stop loss a little bit higher. So I did set the risk to 0.5%. And that's, yeah, this is great because then that kind of puts me in a nice little, it gives me a slightly higher stop loss, so we can actually close this out. I know it's looking a bit like a bit of a pointless trade, but if we get another bear signal now, then we'll probably take that. So we'll be starting to lean towards the bearish momentum. And like I said, it's not all, doesn't always work in one way. Like when we get stuck in consolidation periods, this is kind of your armor against it, if you will, making sure that you're hedged and you're not just kind of getting wrecked all in one way, or just getting wicked out. I mean, this is kind of cool. Like we could literally just close all our trades now because both are in profit, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, okay, right, I'm getting sidetracked. So let me set the take profits and stop losses. There you go, and confirm. So again, BTC short, take profits. Let's get rid of you, and then add you in. Okay, so now we've got all of our trades set up. Get rid of these lines, we don't need any more confusion on there. Oh, it's pushing up. Wait, what's just happened there? Where's my short gone? Oh, come on, MEXC. What are you doing to me? I don't want any fucking reminders. Okay, I mean, ironically, that's not the worst thing that could happen, but that was a bit of an error. You can see this $0.74 just closed out by accident, I may add. I'd love to say that that was a well-executed close because the market was turning and it just suddenly started pumping. It wasn't, but hey, every now and again you need a little bit of luck. So the question is, I could just close out this trade for a 2%. And then that takes me to 7% for the day. Pretty awesome going, happy with that. But let's see where this goes. Famous last words. I mean, we could even get into a short now. And then that would be a much better entry because our short was down here. And then put me, it's looking quite nice, to be honest. See this here? That's very, obviously very teeny tiny time frame. A little divergence going on. So that could be showing a bit of bullish momentum. Like I said, if we make it to 5% or halfway up, 0.25% from here, $5, whatever, I'm probably going to close. Like I said, it hits my daily target of 10%, so I'm pretty happy with that. You know, I could even raise the stop loss at this point, but don't want to be too hasty with anything. Looking at the general movement of it, it's a very rangy at the moment. Put a quick note on that trade as to what happened. It was actually break even. Anything under $1 is basically break even, whether it's a win or a loss. Break even, and this was only 73 cents. I'll relook at the video just to what I did there and try to avoid it in the future. Break even, accidental close. Like I said, it's kind of a bit of a bonus there, to be honest. I think that should be about there, to be honest. So this is going to be the first hurdle that we come up to. It's like the very, very kind of local resistance. See, I'm expecting a little bit of pushback, and we'll see if this is game on or whether we're going to get rejected here. Yeah, see what I mean? Tiny little rejection. Let's hope it's not too bad, and there's a bit more buying pressure. Like I said, we've got a bullish divergence just on our side down here. And then we really want to get ahead above this. Want to get this CVD. I always want to call it CDV. Cumulative Van Dam. What we can call it. Yeah, damn it, it's rejecting. Come on, just push up. Nice strong green candle, push up, and then we can close this trade out. but we've got a tiny time frame double top just forming, which is not ideal. And on top of that, it's not quite a bearish divergence. It's not far off, So we're still kind of got hope in this little one here. One thing I don't like about this is this trend line on the that kind of breaking, but we do have some legitimacy in that one there. So if we can find some buying pressure coming in here and go back up, I'm almost certain that we're going to push a bit higher. And then the next thing to be mindful of is around about here, and then again around about here. But yeah, let's keep an eye on what's happening here. I'd love to jump to some longer format stuff, but it's a little bit, again, a bit too exciting in the old scalping trades today. We could be looking at taking a short, although we don't have anything lined up in regards to shorts. Might see something form there, but nothing too major. Okay, you can see the full. Make sure you can see the full trade. $2.63 up. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so we're getting a bit of buying pressure coming in now. Looking pretty good. I could just raise my stop loss. Couldn't I? And just lock in some profit even if it does retrace. Let's do that. No harm in that. So my stop loss is now raised. No, I don't want to trigger the order immediately. There we go. Got a bit of space. Okay, so we've locked in at least break even for this, so we're not going to lose anything. I suppose we've lost 75 cents, which I'm still pissed about, but it is what it is. A small time frame, what we're actually seeing here at the moment is a broadening wedge, so we can actually come back down. Maybe that break even stop loss wasn't a good idea. Could actually come down here and fling back up. Like so. And then right now I could also be regretting not taking that short. But we do have some. It's a bit far-fetched, but there's a bit of support there. We kind of flipped, so we might be flipping. And like I said, we were expecting a bit of a rejection at just this point, which we kind of identified going into it. But we'll see where it goes. It hasn't been a particularly aggressive one, but 3 minutes into it, you can't really tell. 2% up at the moment, and still kind of showing a bearish candle. I suppose we can actually. This is very misleading. This trade here. Don't give me a break even. It's the most lackluster thing in the world. It's funny though, because we're currently $1.61 up, and if I close this trade, that's $1.63. Well, look at this sailing down. About to eat my words here. Come on, show me a bounce. Moving towards that break-even stop loss. Are we going to tag it? Or are we going to tag the break-even stop loss? It's very close at the moment. Ooh, Bounce. Come on, bounce. That'll be hilarious if it bounces up from here, but I'm not expecting it to. There's quite a lot of sell pressure going on. That double top was a bit annoying. Could have taken, I suppose I could have taken profit there. There she goes. She's going to head down. Don't think I'm going to bounce out of this one, to be honest. I think this is going to be a break even. Oh, he says. Another bouncer. That's interesting. So somebody defending the $28,045. Come on. It's certainly not me with a $100 account. It's always fun to watch these. I mean, it's like you kind of get this strange little hope that there's going to be a magical buy that comes in right in front of your stop loss, and the winds of change will come. But it's very rare that it does. I mean, generally a lot of moves have conviction, and it's kind of randomized, you know, somewhat where sometimes your stop losses can be. Although might be eating my words here. This could be a little bounce and reversal, and that would be pretty nice. It does make you, when you kind of survive these little situations, it does make you kind of feel like, okay, well, I'm just going to take whatever profit I can get now, which is what's going through my mind right now. And I want to, like I said, I'm up 5% for the day so far. We've locked in profit at break even. We're gonna kind of forget about that like that rubbish mistake trade, 'cause it's 75 cents, but you know, we're not going to forget about it. The P&L won't let us forget about it, obviously, but that was a bit of a mistake trade. Bears are coming back. Let's see, what have you got? Are you going to sail down? Should I have stopped talking and just taken some profit? It really was looking like that candle. That's a really nice bullish candle. And then we're pushing back down again. Not bullish candle per se, but you know, it's kind of like showing a bit of a nice kind of reversal candle. No, there does seem to be a bit of bearish pressure. I think, if I'm being honest, I might just get out of this trade. Yeah, let's close that. So we took 1% on that. We do have the option of opening a short now, which I might just do. Interestingly, this is where my stop loss was. So let's see if that gets tagged now, and we'll move all this. Some. You watch this fly up there. It'll follow this trajectory that I've drawn on, and then just go exactly where I wanted it to go in the first place. We did take that trade, didn't we? We could re-enter that trade. I mean, it's in a bit of it's not a significantly better position, is it? How much would be benefiting from taking this trade? Ironically, it's going to be about 0.6. That's nothing. I mean, if it was kind of back up around about here, then if it gets back up there, oh, there's the bounce. Come on, here we go. This is going to go straight to 10% profit, isn't it? Typical, but this is, let's see what the actual profit on that was after. Shouldn't be any fees. Yeah, it's 1.09. And there's that fake trade. So 5.25% up today with the stupid mistake, and 6% up without the stupid mistake. We're about to find out if that was a good idea to close 1% in profit or a bad idea. But, you know, like, I kind of, the big thing to take away from this, which is 1% is a huge amount in trading. It really, really is. 1% on your entire account is big deal. And, you know, that little trade there, you saw how easy it was. I say easy. I made a meal out of it, but how easy it can be just to make that with once you've got a good, consistent indicator, and if you're quite attuned to the market and you know what you're doing, you can navigate it like I've been doing, and you can take profit early. Or you can just let it do its thing and let the whole kind of, what's the term? The whole point of statistics, the whole statistics side of it take over. And, you know, statistically, this will give us 60 to 70% win rate overall. And generally, like, per day, to be honest. It's very rare that I'll go through, do some back testing, and they'll come out the end of the day after usually around about 8 to 12 trades per day is what it can put out. Obviously, in a very slow moving market, then that won't that sometimes won't quite meet it, but that'll be more around about the lowest kind of 7 to 8. Higher end is around about 12 to 13. On some of the real volatile assets, then it can get up to 15 trades a day, which is insane. But, you know, like, you use numbers to your advantage here, or quantity to your advantage, because it will usually balance itself out at the end of it all. And yeah, like I said, there's two ways I guess you can approach this indicator. One way, which is how I'm doing it, which is a little bit more with the trader's eye, if you will. So I'll be able to do things like this and see things as they're forming, like this little double top now. That's why, for me, that's quite significant, because it's a very short-term time frame, but it's a double top. And now that we're breaking this, if we break this little trend line here, I'm going to really regret not taking this short. But not even bothered, to be honest. Like, it's already had such a good day at 6%, and, you know, 61% up in 2 weeks. We can live with that. So anyway, that's one trade. Let's talk now. We don't have to monitor the scalping side with a magnifying glass. We'll keep an eye on that if any new trades come up, specifically if a short comes up. I don't see any shorts on the horizon. We're kind of like mid-range at the moment. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. We don't need that on there. This broadening wedge is quite handy. Oh, we still haven't clipped that damn stop loss yet. There's a part of me that wants to see it hit just so I know I made the right decision. But that must be 0.01% off. I mean, we could have hit that with the actual ask price or bid price. So I'm not too sure if we would have survived that or not. So I might have made the right call there. But that is specifically for break-even stop loss. If I'd left it at the normal stop loss, then we still have, you know, a whole way to go, all the way down to, you know, we've still got like 0.44% to play with, which in BTC terms is quite a lot. Obviously not when it gets going. And motoring, it can do some big moves, as we know, and it really kind of ruptures the market when it does. But quick update on results and where we're at. Last 30 days, 61.33%. Last, now is that cumulative P&L based on what the account was? Yeah, that would have been what the account was at the start of 7 days ago. However, you know, 7 days, 28% still not too bad. Yeah, this is the number. What have we done today? So we did today's, again, that's not reflective. 5.37. We can live with that. This is the trade I put out earlier, and this is quite significant to talk about actually, because this is Bitcoin. You know, we quite rarely put out trades in BTC, often because it's a bit of a slower mover, but everyone kind of freaks out a little bit as soon as you do. And that's why I kind of quite like to put out BTC trades in the scalping format. But there is a bit of conviction behind this one. In fact, it's quite nice actually, a bit of trading knowledge for the day. Your double tops. If you don't know what a double top is, then go on Investopedia, learn it. Double tops, triple tops is all ascending triangles and things like that. They're quite prominent within those. Like with all patterns, none have a particularly like insane high conviction. I think statistically, head and shoulders patterns are the strongest of all the patterns. But what you're really using patterns to define, for the most part, is consolidation. Realistically, divergences. A lot of the time, when you see like ascending wedges and stuff like that, then it will be leading to a divergence. Good thing, one of the more overlooked patterns that people don't take note of, or I suppose not take note of, but don't know really how to define, is broadening wedges. So broadening wedge is, it's like we've got all the examples ready to go today. This is essentially a broadening wedge, and this is a bearish formation. And if we flip this upside down, as in like the price is going down and getting wider, then you'll see that'll be a bullish one. So what are these generally more attuned to? These are more effective on longer term time frames. Pretty much all patterns are, to be fair. But what a broadening wedge, and realistically within the spot market, ascending broadening wedge are very significant within parabolic markets. And what they're really great for is they start to show you when the actual price is running out of steam. When you see things like SHIB, I guess, that's kind of breaks all trade analysis. Bitcoin, I guess, is a really good example. Let's have a little look at this on a higher time frame. We'll go back to that parabolic run. Of course, I'm on MEXC. Let's go to MEXC. It doesn't have a very far look back because it's been around for not obviously as long as Binance. So if we go into like Binance, BTC, USDT, then we'll see it, kind of thing. Not the greatest example here, but kind of an example. Let's say, let's turn off the indicator so you can see it a little bit clearer. In fact, actually, where I do know there is a very distinct broadening wedge is what time frame was I on for this one? So this was, we managed to call this quite nicely. And that, like I said, the good one with the DXY, and paying attention to that, is when the DXY generally goes down, Bitcoin will generally go up, unless there's kind of some sort of catastrophic global event, which we obviously have seen a few times. But This is a very good example of a broadening wedge as price kind of keeps on going up, and gets really over. I'm assuming there's probably going to be a divergence around about this region here. Let's have a quick look. No, that's just following. Yeah, there's some pretty. Okay, so here's the divergence that we're looking for. See, that's kind of coming down. And this is heavily going up. But, you know, this was a tricky one because the Dixie just kept on going and going and going and going. So you'd have got, if you'd have tried to play this divergence, I suppose you'd have been all right on that one. And on this one as well. This would have been, you'd have probably got wrecked on this divergence here because that's, for me, this is a really obvious one. Not so bad. Like it's quite hard to define what the pivot is. Like when do you define when there's actually a pivot going in? And what I mean by pivot is like a high or a low. So for instance, this is a pivot just here. And if you can define pivots and swing highs and swing lows in trading them, you can do all sorts of stuff. You know, it really helps with like Elliott wave trading, drawing Fibonacci's, support and resistances, trend lines, everything really. And also like defining trends as well. I tend to use pivots more personally to define trends. You know, when you see in higher highs, higher lows in distinct fashions, not only just the shorter time frames, but also the macro style ones. And, you know, where they're positioning, this is why I love divergences so much, because it does give you a realistic outlook on, you know, momentum slowing down. As we do see here, you know, this is momentum slowing down, and I guess it's not really the most distinct divergence, but it's pretty much a level top divergence, a double top on the CVD. And I guess if you're using more of a conventional indicator like an RSI or something, then you'd probably get a better divergence displayed there. Yeah, price goes down, pow. And, you know, Dixie could be seeing a little bit of a reversal right now because, yet again, we've got this is on the daily as well, so there's quite high conviction on higher time frames. We're starting to see price move up relatively. Whilst we're seeing a tiny, but a lower low, maybe even a double bottom on this one. And this is kind of a relatively significant pattern in that consolidating. So if we do break up from here on the Dixie, we could see a bit of move, which if I'm being honest, it tracks with what Bitcoin's doing at the moment, which we'll take a little look at. So if we break that, then Dixie can probably pump again. I'm not saying go crazy, but it can definitely get some traction. And like I said, when Dixie pumps, then BTC usually dumps. So, you know, literally, like I said, what we're kind of by circumstance of doing a little bit of a lesson on broadening wedges, rising wedges, ascending wedges, whatever. We're actually, you know, seeing that Bitcoin probably going to confirm it's going to go down. So let's take a little look at this analysis that I did and why I'm taking the short. So, you know, we have the Dixie analysis going on there. Aha, yes. Hang on a second, I just want to show you that I did make the right call earlier on, thankfully. So 3 minutes. Let's get back onto BTC. DT, UFDT. Okay, let's do that. Get it onto good old MEXC, which has got about 5 minutes history on it. So should have taken the short, but we didn't. However, we have saved our asses from this this move down. We ended up 1% in profit instead of 0% profit, or even worse. This has got some quite strong conviction behind it. As you can see, we like our broadening wedges are coming to life. We drew on this little trend line earlier on. We did that quite quickly. You saw a bit of technical analysis here with a couple of double tops. That gave us an indication to move our stop loss up to break even, to secure in the profits, but we also took profits a little bit early. And as soon as we broke through this trend line, this broadening wedge, then we made a significant move down significant in, relative time frame. We've seen a nice little bounce at the moment, but there's a part of me that is thinking this short wouldn't go amiss. Let's get the indicator back on and see where you were. So the short was situated at this candle here, which is where we are now. And we're trading below this trend line. We could see a pullback. So this is where my short would be. So anything above this would be a better entry. Although this reversal, this big wick here, kind of would be saying to me that there's a good bit of buying pressure coming in. So I need to be a little bit wary. Could take short. I tell you what, I'll make a deal. If we get a decent wedge above the entry line, then I'll jump in on a short again. And it'll be looking, basically kind of replicating this trade, which failed. I think, I'm not entirely sure why, but I'll look into it. So kind of something like this. Let's get a bit bigger so we can see it. So you can see it on all your mobile devices. Yeah, I didn't realize on the last stream, this is kind of how green I am with streaming. On the last stream, you really couldn't make out the actual position sizes on your phones. You can see it fine on desktops, which is where I spend like 99% of my life looking at screens, not so much on phones. In fact, the only time I really use my phone a lot these days now is for playing Call of Duty Mobile. I used to play Call of Duty a lot. And then I had these things called kids, which took up pretty much every waking moment. That, between kids and crypto, there wasn't much time for anything else. Now, got a much better work life, kids, crypto, COD balance. And yeah, so now I play it. But there is a bit of a game changer. The reason why I didn't get more into COD Mobile when it first came out was because I hated playing it on a touchscreen. And I'm fully aware that's how the pros play it and how you have to play it if you want to be like super high level. But I don't particularly care about that. I want to play it for enjoyment and fun. That's where I got this thing called a Backbone. I'm sure you've pretty much heard of it, Backbone. And it's so cool. It just clips onto your phone. But I've had as like controllers for phones before. A couple of things that like slide on over the shoulders of the phone, so you can like use them as shoulder buttons. I've had ones where it sits on the top, and you've got pretty much like a retro controller. And they just sucked a little bit. It's very specific setups that you needed for them to work every now and again. The actual response time is pretty rubbish. The joystick sensitivity sucked a lot. So it didn't really make for a better gaming experience. But I took one last punt on the Backbone, which I think it was around about £100 or $100. Not too sure. Probably get it cheaper, I'm sure. But it's kind of like the official mobile gaming controller, certainly for COD anyway. And it's just absolutely amazing. It's so portable. Yeah, and you can just jump straight on. And I was so surprised, like, I'm sounding so old, but the actual like kind of gaming experience is so similar. Of course, you're playing on a smaller screen, but it is what it is. You can play it anywhere, anytime kind of thing. The actual game experience using that controller is, you can adjust the sensitivity if you get more into it. There's a lot of like ranked play, so if you really want to take it a bit more seriously, you can. It feels a little bit less like kind of a time waster game on your phone, and a little bit more like you're actually achieving kind of that sense of achievement in games that a lot of people obviously do it for. So obviously when you're playing like kind of Call of Duty or something or PUBG, whatever, on a console, then there's that bigger sense of achievement if you do rank or win a game, Battle Royale or whatever. It's the same with the phone. Like I predominantly play multiplayer, which is where I spent a lot of my time playing it previously. I don't play Battle Royale much. Not to say that I won't, but I just haven't really got around to it. Haven't been playing it too much for too long. It's quite a recent acquisition and commitment. Like I said, time is probably the most precious commodity. But yeah, sorry, back to trading. I'm sure I'll talk more about COD Mobile as time goes on, if you guys are into it. Please leave some gun recommendations and gunsmith setups. I'm always open to them all. But we're just waiting for this goddamn trade to hit my randomized entry point. Not randomized, but better entry point for a short. It's not even that high. Not exactly setting very high standards here. Although, hello, look at this. So we are kind of looking. This is what I love about the 3 minute, like, or the shorter time frame. You kind of see patterns and formations forming as we. Okay, so we're now at a point. I think we can be a bit more aggressive on the stop loss here, given how we're tracking. Oh, 0.35. I always get a little bit hesitant about going below 0.3 generally. That's kind of my it's always very easy when you're back testing these things and you're looking at it's like, well, if I had taken that trade at 0.15%, then it would have been successful. It would have gone like a 1-to-1 risk reward, even 1 to 2-to-1 risk reward. That would have been such a great trade. But you doing it in real life, it's kind of it's a different story, because you just never have that much faith in I guess strategy, which you should do, obviously. Let's go, but we're gonna chance a short here. Open position. There we go. We're in the short now. We'll see if this kind of pumps straight through, which it probably will. And then let's get this stop loss in pretty quick, though. Like I said, I think if we do break out of this little trend line here, then it's might potentially be game over. So yeah, we could be clutching at straws here for a trade or so. Where do we want the take profits? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're using the incredible indicator, so everything's going to be fine. Most importantly, we've got our take profit and stop loss in place. So we're safe in that. We're pumping a little bit now. Not what we want to see. I wouldn't say pumping a lot. What price did we actually get in at then? 28,040. Oh, a little bit better. We'll take that. So yeah, the reason why I was actually quite interested in this trade is actually this trend line which is formed. So this is an automatic trend line from the indicator, not one that I've drawn on myself. But just to emphasize it a little bit so you can see, see this line that I drew earlier on. That's what I think could still be playing out. But two things on my side here. We do have this trend line that is broken, and we're potentially looking at a retest now. And we do have this other trend line at the very top. So a couple of things that people may be looking at in order to block this. And then additionally, there is also a bit of resistance just here. So let's make this a little bit thicker so you can see it. I'm not entirely sure you will be able to see it on the trades. I mean, this is a very strong candle pushing up. I mean, look at that. So we started moving straight up from here, pretty much in one motion. So we'll see. We'll see. If we I've actually got a bit more wedge on this, so I'm going to increase the stop loss to there. Just because I've put the risk to 0.35, not 0.32. So let's just edit that. Take profit. God, it's motoring up, isn't it? 28136. We'll yours settle with that. Always makes you feel very, very nervous when you change stop losses on such a small percentage, because you'll always get a warning saying, be careful, because it may trigger your stop loss immediately. Like, okay, I do like throwing caution into the wind, but yeah, for the most part, it's just that kind of that warning that they'll give you. Look at this pump. Don't pump. Fail. Come on. Yeah, we really have just broken through everything, haven't we? What do we got next? This. Something happening in the world of crypto that I'm unaware of. That was a big move. Big move. That 0.5%. Straight from there. Sure, we got a bit of retrace. I'm not sure if that retrace will hold though. We've got a couple of these moves that have happened previously, like this big wick here, big wick here, big wicks here. There's a heavy rejection there. Let's see how that plays out. We've got our stop losses there. If it hits, it hits. Not going to cry. I've not actually had a losing day for the past 12, 13 days. And so I'm overdue one. So I'm not going to cry too hard if this does come in, and it'll be minus 10%. I made 6% so far. So yeah, 4% I can stomach. So I'll probably be drawing it to a bit of a close after this trade closes. If it retraces and dumps down, then that'd be great. I'll probably just leave it and see where it goes. Throw a bit of caution into the wind, but we've still not managed to do the analysis on the BTC because we've been focusing on the scalping too much, which ultimately I'm sure you're not really unhappy about. You know, you came probably watching this video to actually see some live trading, and that's kind of what you're seeing. But so this was the reasoning for taking the short earlier on. Is we do have a more traditional ascending wedge, I guess, and yep, this has been going up in this kind of formation now since January, and it's been a very bullish year, to be honest, for crypto, which is great news. We really needed it after 2022, which was just horrible. Really not fun to trade with, because you're just so inhibited to trading shorts, and shorts are so rocky sometimes because it just takes a little bit of interest, a little bit of a tweet, and it can wreck everything. But yeah, it does all work inversely, you know. So I think we might lose this trade. And there, lesson learned. If I left that trade open without moving the stop loss, then we'd be in healthy profit. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna cry about this kind of stuff. All these ifs and shoulda, woulda, couldas. Just a constant reminder to trust your new strategy. Either way, so the reason for taking this trade is we're in an ascending wedge. We have, I wouldn't say confirmed breakout, but what's looking like a bit of a breakout is coming down now. We've tested the 50 daily moving average yet again. We've broken through the 20 daily exponential moving average. We've got a double top here as well. This kind of descending trend line isn't, oh, we've lost that trade, it's pumping hard. Wow, look at it go. And big, I say, look at it go. we go. I don't feel so bad about that. There was no getting out of that one. We do have a bullish signal come to light. It's not closed yet. I do want to trade that. There's the trade. 4% down. Could take this trade. 0.5%. Screw it. Let's get into it. We're in. Okay, let's not mess about. Let's get these let's get these take profits and stop losses in. Sorry for the El Silence. You can obviously see what I'm doing on the screen. Sometimes it's good to have a little bit of concentration. 28,151, 28,151. That's where it pulls it. That's my actual entry. Let's rejiggle the okay. Most importantly, we've got our take profits and stop losses in place. Let's try and get this limit order close. It's been motoring up. Okay, we've got all of our necessary orders in. So as it stands right now, we're 4% down in total. We just might be able to make that back. So we might not end up in a losing day. That'd be nice. But we'll see how this goes. Like we reacted well to this trade. We got in at a very good price. Seems to be a lot of bullish pressure coming in. Attacked by the caps locks villain. Quite happy to stop loss there. So what I quite like about this one is this very, very clean breakout there. You can drop this now to a new what's inside of that pump? It's around the 3 minutes, so everything looks a lot more exaggerated. All right, let's see how this little trade plays out. Of course, got a nasty rejection there, but that could just be clearing out quite a lot of liquidity. So the second bunch of buys and volume could be coming in now to support it all, which is what it's kind of looking like. Like I said, we did break out of all of this quite significant resistance. There's a resistance there, resistance here, and then this is what we're playing with at the moment. You're completely invalid. Whoopsie daisy. You back. we completely invalidated all these patterns, so we can start to remove those to ease a bit of confusion on the chart. Oh, look at that annoying rejection. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got quite a significant region to break out of here. If this is the pullback, then this is nice. This will go straight up. This will continue straight up to take profit. Kind of thinking this is a bit of a FOMO, tiny little FOMO pump. So I'm expecting to be some sort of tweet or something somewhere that would have driven this. Quite surprised about how strong this rejection is, though. Thought there'd be a bit more support forming here. Yeah, come on, play ball with me. We're 4% down at the moment. We want to flip that into a bit of a win. Got 10 minutes, and then I'll be calling it. So let's jump back into here. Teeny tiny pump. What have we got going on? Well, like I said, we clean broke through that daily exponential moving average on the 20. We've got a bearish signal here. The signals on the 6 hour are pretty damn strong. You know, as you can see all the way back here, that would have been a win, win, win. Little win there as it dumps down. Win, win, win. And then the only one to argue is these ones might not be a win, but you know, it's what, 4% drop. Yeah, actually would have been a win, kind of where you entered into there. So yeah, so the past one, two, oopsie daisy, get you back. Yeah, one. So I guess even potentially this one could have been a win. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe that's a loss down here. 16, 17. Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very high win rate on these. Right, so how much is this dumping now? Wow, getting crushed on some volatility here at the moment. Come on. So yeah, so for that, you know, we took this trade on the bearish signal, the break through the 20D EMA, the breakdown on this ascending wedge. They're always pretty strong. And then there's very significantly an untested bearish weekly pivot down here, which they often get filled. So I do expect the price to be heading down. We've got a last kind of, there's some key support right about here, which if that breaks, then that's definitely going to go down. And then obviously the 50 DEMA. I think we'll probably find some support at the 200 down here, which is looking around about the 25 territory. So I think that's where we could be going. Back to some crazy volatility on the 3. Don't care about this anymore. Solid bounce, go on. Bounce all the way to take profit. Do it in the next 10 minutes, please. That'd be really nice. And then I can, that is actually a really nice bounce. Come on. But see all this like, so there's price action here. Oh, peak, 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 peak. So the fact that we've actually broken through that is pretty impressive. Which leads me to believe that this is actually going to lead to a breakout. I'm not upset with the entry there either. Like there's kind of, it's one of those entries, providing you don't chase it up too far, then that's when you get some problems. But if you get into like the close of the candle, which is pretty much, we slightly got in there a little bit of a better price, then you're in a pretty good place. But if you chase it up too fast, you also don't want to miss the trades as well, for the sake of just trying to get a better 0.02% better or whatever. Sometimes you want to get in there, but if you can just always avoid opening it with a market order, or a taker fee, then that will help so much in the long term. And because if you're doing that every trade, it's just giving the exchange money, which is not what you want. So I think you might have to follow the channel, and I'll post the results, how this one came in. So we are currently, can't believe to say it, we're currently 4% down on the day in total, but we have a trade open, so we have a bit of hopium going, and might even trade into the night, because probably not actually, but we'll see. This trade's 1.5% down, but it has had a really nice bounce, so we might see this head on up. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call the stream there, and if you want to get access to any of our products, just head on over to our website. It's at blockpartytrading.com, and I'll show you it just in case you don't know what it looks like or where it is. Nope, you don't need to log in. And you can head on here and you can find all of our products, all of our information, all of our guides. You get a 7-day free trial with absolutely everything. You got a signals package, indicator package, and automation package, all got their different features. But with every graduating package, you'll get access to the previous one. So with indicator, you get access to signals. With automation, you get access to the indicator and signals. So the automation is like the Billy Big Boy package, where you get everything. Signals, you know, that gives access to all of our channels. We've got 12 different channels now, which you can have access to. Everything from automated signals, premium trades, scalps. There's a chat in there as well, obviously, which is great, and also like a lot of news stuff, which is really helpful. And we took a long time curating our news channels, so that it really is very comprehensive, but only the stuff that really matters, and it's not just loads of same headlines, but spelt slightly different. Then indicator is what I've been using, and it's kind of led me to 60% over the past 12 days on the account. And then last but not least is automation, and this gives access to the previous two, but all of our bots and everything with just free of charge. I say free of charge, you still pay this fixed fee. It's only an additional $49, $50 on top of the indicator, but you don't have to pay any performance fees or fixed fees or anything like that. So if you've got a big account and you want automation features, then it's quite good, because there's a good chance you'll be making more than whatever 10% of your total profit is, 15% your total profit is per month. So it's a net win. But yeah, do the maths, see what works for you. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll probably catch you tomorrow.